Let's keep trying and hope my headache goes away. Like, you take half of our damage, then you roll. Yeah, I don't like the weird latency that's in this game. Because it's a consistent thing where, like, I go to parry, and you'll see the enemy attack, and then I parry right after. Like, the animations are staggered. So I don't parry it because the animations are... What you're talking about is a combo you poison through his attacks, and you're... Yeah, I know. I know what I'm talking about. Doesn't make it suck any less. Alright, you little assholes. Fuck off. God fucking damn it. Like, I know what's doing it, I still think it's bullshit. I think it's poorly designed. If I'm gonna roll through something and not take damage, let me roll through something and not take damage. If I can't roll through it because I'm going to take damage, just damage me. Don't let me roll through it. And it's not like it's not like I'm playing Dead by Daylight or Overwatch or some other game where it's a server latency issue. Because, like, that's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, hey, and I mentioned this because I was playing Dead by Daylight earlier, but, like, when I'll vault through a window and I get hit and I'm nowhere near the window, and that's because of the server latency issue where my position relative to me, to the server, to where the killer is, are completely different. This is just a, oh, hey, you dodge rolled through that? Too bad, I'm hitting you anyway, fuck you. Like, that one I get, because it's the second hit that gets me when he does it. It's the second hit. And it sucks, but I get it. Like, that's my fault. I should be rolling backwards, not sideways. I promise you, it has nothing to do with the speed of the roll. And the difference in fast rolling versus slow rolling is 1 frame of invincibility. It's 11 frames versus 12 frames. I looked it up. The difference is negligible. See, again, that one was my fault. I should have rolled to the side. Again. But you can hear a little noise when you get hit. And there are certain times when you just don't hear that. Like that shit. I rolled through that. Same as I have every other time. Artorias, can you jump at me so that I can... Thank you. Nah, that's annoying, but okay. That's where you don't want to get behind. Come on, Artorias, I wasn't even behind you that time. Dude. Alright, I'm just gonna top off all these ups. Isn't that little? What? Yeah, it's that little. It's 11 seconds versus 12 seconds. Ouch. Alright, I'm gonna need you to do a long attack that has a lot of animation to it so that I can heal. What? I have my shield up. I went straight through my shield and just killed him. It's hard to even see behind him because he's twisting. Yeah, his what counts as a behind him, where he does his he either flicks slime at you with his left arm, or he does that, like, roll slice at you from underneath and knocks you in the air as he jumps away. Those are the two attacks he does from behind. and what counts as behind him is basically 180 degrees. And given he is a very mobile fighter, yeah. Alright, time for these two chuckle fucks again. Wait, did either of you drop anything? His behind is fluid, literally. It's like sitting on a waterbed. I don't know why that makes me chuckle so much. Like sitting. It's like sitting on a waterbed. The waterbed is your ass. It's like that episode of King of the Hill where Hank goes to the doctor and the doctor tells him that he has no ass cheeks. He literally has no butt. So they give him like a fake prosthetic butt to wear that's like in a weird jockstrap that straps to his legs. And so he has to wear that because otherwise like he would completely damage his coccyx and fuck up his spine. That was my fault. King of the Hill is one of those shows that you don't realize how good it is until you don't have it anymore. Dude, Artorias, I'm way over here. Ah, come on. Why can't I just parry him? I could just parry him. I mean, I'm not gonna say coccyx damage isn't serious, but it's King of the Hill. Come on. Top off. Oh, God. I, like, that. Why didn't that do an animation for it? Oh, come on. Get some stamina back. That was my fault. That was a latency issue. Oh, come on. What? I rolled. Okay, there we go, much better. Okay. Whatever, Dan. Go with that, sure. I'm just gonna top off while he's being a fuckboy. Okay, that worked. Well, you know what? Let's grab them souls that I totally need. That totally significant number of souls that I could have gathered. That was my fault. I rolled to the side again instead of back. I'm gonna play Doom. Have fun! Thank you for stopping by. Oh, Lord. My fault. Less than my fault, I think. Dang it, bud. Right? That's a fun show to quote. I think it's a good show specifically because they made Hank Hill be a protagonist that you hate at first, and then you realize, oh yeah, I guess he was right. Like he's an actual dad. Like the episode where we're just going to talk about King of the Hill for a while, because that's easier than talking about the game. So it's like that episode where Bobby wants to be like a fashion model, and Hank thinks that it's the worst idea ever and does not at all want him to be. So he keeps trying to stop it, and then at the end, Bobby like goes to do it, and he literally drags him off stage because as he's dragging him from the backstage, you see some of Bobby's classmates like waiting to throw eggs at him or something. And you're like, oh, maybe Hank was right. Boys are assholes, and even if Bobby likes this, if they see this, they're gonna make his life a living hell. And when Bobby sees the boys waiting, he's like, oh, okay, maybe you were right. This might be fun, but if word gets out, I'm fucked. And you kind of realize that, like, the entire time you hated Hank for being such a dick about it, but he was kind of right. And most episodes ended up being like that. And there was a surprising amount of nuance for the show from the guy who also wrote Beavis and Butthead. If we're being honest here. Okay, time to work on our toys. He also wrote Office Space? I didn't know that. And yeah, he didn't have to be a dick about it. Like, he very easily could have just explained it to Bobby. But I think that was part of the character, is that he was not good at communicating feelings. Which is, come on, Artorias. Which is, again, something understandably realistic. If you have a bad relationship with your father, you understand that it's hard to talk to fathers. So, like, today, I watched the first episode of Dad of Light with Purin, because we saw, like, she saw a clip of it on Twitter, and was like, is the show actually this good? Because it was kind of cute. And so we watched the first episode, and while she didn't identify with it much personally, due to reasons that I won't go into because it's not my place to say, I identified with it a lot because especially when I was younger, not so much now that I'm like an adult and realize that toxicity is not necessarily something you want to have in your life. I spent a lot of time wanting to have a good relationship with my father and wondering why I couldn't, like, what the fuck was wrong with him and why he hated me. And I understand now that I'm a little bit older, that sometimes dads have a tendency to have trouble expressing themselves to their family. It's just one of those weird things that, like, blah blah toxic masculinity, don't share your feelings, has ingratiated itself into our culture so much that, you know, dads have trouble telling their kids that they love them. And while I'm sure any dad would immediately say that they love their father, or that they love their kids more than life itself, and that they would take a bullet for them, it's really hard to have that conversation. Thank you for roaring instead of attacking me while I healed. That actually saved my ass. Artorias! Let me get some fucking stamina back. I swear to God, I just want some stamina. God, imagine if I wasn't using this shield. My dad is an asshole, but when I was younger, I definitely wanted to have a better relationship with him. And I'm not even gonna lie that, like, in the mid-2000s, even when I was an adult, there was still a, why am I seeing all of these, not sitcoms, but, like, fictional portrayals of fathers where they had a really good relationship with their kid and they could, you know, like, go out and do stuff with them. And I never had that and was like, why not? Like, why? Maybe I'll make the effort. And obviously, it didn't go anywhere, but I did try. This is actually helping a lot to not focus on the bullshit that is this fight. I'm topping off because he still had the buff. That was my fault. Artorias Bliss. And I feel like Hank is a good example of that, of someone who has a very difficult time expressing themselves, and in being that type of character is fairly realistic. Because there was a line in the show where the main character, not the dad, but the son, is, come on, is talking about how at the funeral, because this co-worker's father had died, where at the funeral his dad, a friend came up and said how at work your father always talked about his family, but they didn't have necessarily a good home relationship, and that expressing yourself to someone can be difficult. Letting gamer brain get on with that without being distracted by talkie brain, kind of. It's kind of like, I saw somebody tweet, and this was months ago now, but they said something about, you ever crouch down to pick something up and you go, oh, my knees, because your knees hurt? Just stop doing that. Just stop saying it. Stop acknowledging it. And honestly, he was really shitty about it. Like, it was egotistical bullshit tweet, but in doing so, like, I stopped acknowledging it. Okay, you just fall off the cliff then, I guess. Bye. I stopped acknowledging it, and now when I have to bend over and pick stuff up for work, I just ignore it, and my knees are fine. And they're aching now because I'm talking about it, but... yeah, just let autopilot take over. It's like driving. I don't think about driving much. I drive for a living, and I don't think about driving much. Like, I just let driving happen. It's not like I'm not paying attention. Like, I know what's going on around me. But I've been driving for a decade and a half now, for over half my life. So, like, I can let autopilot take over to make sure I stay in the lane and make sure I'm going a decent speed without going too fast. I don't have to hyper-realize it. When you think about driving, you get really stressed out. Why? It's just driving. Rude. Artorias, you can't do that! If you can focus on something else. Okay, I can't read chat right now. I disagree. I disagree! It's kind of the thing where you're like, you're driving and driving and driving, and then you're like, wait a minute, when did I get here? And you look around. You can just focus on it. Yeah, exactly. If you just let it happen, it just happens. If you're thinking about it, you end up... It's like being aware of your tongue. Think about your tongue right now. Where's your tongue in your mouth? Where is your tongue right now? Are you thinking about it? You're thinking about where to place your tongue? Should it be at the roof of your mouth? Should you let it hang? Do you need to press it against the back of your teeth? Where's your tongue right now? Where does your tongue need to be? When your tongue is just existing, it's fine. When you start thinking about your tongue, you start going, where do I need to... Hold on. It's like breathing. If you think about breathing and you're... and you're like, oh god, okay, wait, how do I breathe without... hold on. And if you stop for a second, you stop breathing and you're like, oh god, brain take over, please. But you're still thinking about it. Yeah. There's a lot of things you just let your brain do. How did we get on this subject? We're talking about King of the Hill. We just put King of the Hill down in the corner. And we'll just watch that. Alright, let's try this again. Oh yeah, we're talking about dad play. But anyway, I don't know. Parents and communicating are hard. I also think there's something to be said of a child who desperately attempts to get their kid, or desperately attempts to, like, share their life with their parent, and their parent just doesn't give a fuck. Like, if I went and told my mother about a video game I was playing, her eyes would just glaze over and she would stop giving a fuck immediately. She just would not care. I disagree with that. King of the Souls. Dang it, Aquarius. I keep doing that. I keep trying to roll through it, and I know I shouldn't, but I do anyway because I'm dumb. Ooh, got lucky that time. I didn't get hit by it. I did it again! God! I gotta roll backwards from that, not sideways. Disagree. That did 65 hull damage. Good shit. What? I rolled. Alright, you just stay over there for a second. Ow! Yep, you can roar, I know. You are a very angry man. God damn it. Reminding me father would sit down in the living room when we were playing Zelda or something and inquire about it. I pointed out that he doesn't really care about the content, and he responded that while true, I cared about them, and showing interest in your interest was an excellent way to spend his time. And that's the thing, is that none of my family do that. And, like, while your eyes might glaze over when you're asking someone about their passions because, like, you don't care, if you care about the person, then that's just the same to me. To me, at least. So, like, for example, I will often ask about a certain friend of mine's houseplants. I don't like plants. I don't care about plants. In fact, I hate plants. And if it were up to me and we didn't need oxygen to breathe, I would probably burn the whole goddamn world down. Not because of any specific reason, but because I have fucking allergies. I hate plants. Because they make me want to die. Because they actively try to kill me. That's pretty much why I have a headache, is allergies. I'm spending this entire time when a pandemic is going around wondering, oh god, is this cough I have me dying because of the pandemic? And then I start to cough until I almost throw up because my whole throat has closed up and my body is seizing, and I'm like, oh no, wait, I do this literally for 6 months a year, every year. It's the plants. My life is the happening. I'm not kidding. Algae isn't that bad. Algae is an okay plant. Hard disagree. All plants must die. Anyway, point being, I don't burn down the world because of oxygen. Anyway, point being is that I don't particularly give a shit about plants, but I will 100% of the time ask how the plants are doing, because it's important to me to make sure that someone I care about knows that I give a shit about what they're interested in. And that's what it comes down to, is I'm interested in what she's interested in. She likes her plants, I want to know how they're doing, because it makes me happy that she's happy. I don't know what species they are, or like, I know what they look like. I can remember some, like, distinguishing facets and be like, hey, how's that one plant with the such and such doing? But, you know, I don't really like plants. But you bet your ass I'm gonna listen and be enraptured I'm gonna ask and listen and be enraptured by the details you tell me, because it's important to you, and that means that it's important to me. Because that's just how it goes. I thought I could get 2 in. Interesting. So if I stick to his left side... Algae isn't really a plant, though. I mean, you're not wrong, but still, fuck it. Alright, I'm gonna hop on. Our arbor discussion went out well. Okay. I do talk about that game a lot. Especially right now. Exploit his basic bitch-handedness. Kind of. Shit. Oh, that was close. I almost got hit. God, this is a long fight. I didn't need to take that damage. Come on, Notorious. Dis-a-fucking-gree. I wouldn't say screwed, but probably screwed. We'll have to wait for another pass to see. Oh, come on. Oh, I got lucky. That's a minute. Dude, Artorias, come on. Come on. Can you do your jump attack, maybe? Not actually how I envisioned you doing it, but okay. There we go. Okay, that was perfect. God, this is a long fight. Okay, so you can only do that at a max of 3 times in a row. Disagree, yo. Dis-a-fucking-gree. No, this is a fuck you fight. Jesus. Christ. Crap in a hat. I was wondering if it would be better to, like, have different spells, but... Nah. I mean, I don't want to summon an NPC. I want to do this myself. But, it's just, meh. But yeah, so, like, it comes down to... I agree with what your father says, is that listening when someone else is... Like, if they're passionate about something and you're not, and you ask, why did I drink that? And you ask them, you know, you're making them feel special, and that makes you happy. So even if you don't understand all of it or even care, like, giving someone an outlet to be passionate about something matters. And I don't feel like I have that. Ever. Like, from family. And it gets to that whole thing where, like, you see a person and they start to tell you a story, and then you see their eyes kind of glaze over and they go, oh, you probably don't care, do you? More stamina. I'm trying to be like hyper aggressive right now. Just trade damage. Rather than be super patient. Because look at how fast that was. So I can heal up now, and we're already like, where are you starting? Don't worry about it. And I think what gets me is that, like, so my half-sister, I desperately tried to validate, like, she was playing World of Warcraft for a while, and I would go up and be like, tell me about your character. And she would just not give a shit. And, like, eventually got to the point where she would just leave the room if I came over. Like, I know my mother doesn't give a shit about it. I was trying to make you feel, you know, like your interests mattered as a human being. Because that kind of thing does matter. God damn it. I tried to be, he normally doesn't do a second when he does a long jump like that. He normally doesn't do a second spin attack, but he did that time. So, like, I was trying really hard to... What's the word I'm looking for? Substitute myself for an adult role model who says your interests matter. Maybe? I don't know. I was trying to be a good role model for that and be like, hey, your interests are valid. They're in, you know, you shouldn't be ashamed of them. Tell me about them. And instead, it was, you know, it didn't go well. I tried. I don't even care about the loot. Fuck you. Surrogate. That might be the word. Circuit works, but the way I was phrasing that sentence, it didn't feel like the right word. Because, like, grammar. Grammar. So, yeah. No. Surrogate is closer to it. It doesn't matter. The sentence is gone. I finished it already. Let's move the fuck on. We're adults. Come on. Anyway, so yeah. I'm wondering if I should go back to the Lightning Spear. The Lightning Spear was doing on average about 5 more damage per hit, which I think might make the difference. So I kind of want to go back to the Lightning Spear for a hot minute and see what happens. Havel's Gear? Maybe. What? Video game plus. Oh, come on. I tried to roll through that, it didn't work. What? That one hit me both times. Interesting. Son of a bitch. I don't think that's very fair. What? That was my fault. I rolled. What? Why are you not letting me roll? Piddly little damage there, but that went straight through my throat. I'm not gonna tank the fight in Havel's Gear. Like, he would kill me before I could do anything. There's no way. A 400-degree swing, right? He's like doing Tony Hawk Pro Skater moves, but with a sword. That's what's happening. So anyway, that's why I make YouTube videos, is because at least someone, you know, the 1 or 2 people who ever watch this will appreciate me. Get out of my way, nerd lords. I kinda want to go back to the greatsword. Like, I'm not even worried about trading damage with him so much as I am just, like, being able to hit him. and not immediately get smashed when I try to do anything else. Because keeping up with him is tough. Why am I so hungry? My stomach is like... Yeah, kick grinding 360. No, he's doing like a 790. You know that move that was made up for video games and thought to be impossible in real life until someone did it in like 2017? Really? Why does it keep double rolling me there? I'm not rolling. I was a little too far away anyway. Hey. Why does it have to be right there? Like, I just want my souls so that the glow isn't fucking with me. There we go. Gonna get hit. Yep. Looks for the double hit. Like, oh, you got gently tapped? Take damage. Ha! Did exactly, surprisingly, exactly what I wanted to. Rude. And surprisingly not dead. What? Ornstein had rollerblades on? Yeah, Ornstein could straight up just fly. Oh my god, this is gonna be such a long bitch-ass fight. Like, it's just goddamn time-consuming.